So good morning to one and all. So in this course production technology, so next I am going to discuss about the topic aggregate production planning. Simply it is called APP. The aim of the session is to familiarize the students with the concept of aggregate production planning. The objectives are, the session is designed to understand the concept of APP and to summarize the need and objectives of APP, aggregate production planning. The outcomes to be expected from the students is, students can understand the importance of aggregate production planning. They can be able to summarize the factors affecting aggregate planning. So coming to the introduction, so let me give you the simple definition of aggregate production planning. In operations management, this aggregate planning is nothing but which determines production and resource allocation strategies. Okay, so aggregate planning in operations management which determines production and resource allocation strategies to meet uncertain and fluctuating future demand at minimum production cost. At a minimum cost of production, okay, to meet the uncertain, the volatile and fluctuating future demands, how to determine the required facilities, how to allocate various resources, that may be men or that may be material, so that we can plan based on this aggregate production planning only. And this is an essential tool for managing various operations. Such operations are inventory. Inventory is one of the important operation. So based on the stock of inventory only, without stopping the production, we can able to continue the production. And the production, the performance of the employees, all depends on a perfect and appropriate aggregate production plan only. Whenever this APP is perfect, definitely we can able to maintain the inventory levels properly, we can able to run the production effectively, and we can able to monitor or assess the performance of employees also effectively. And what the pre-requirements for the planning on an aggregate level are mentioned here. One is demand forecast for the period. Okay, so before planning on the aggregate level, these are the pre-requirements. We should know about the demand forecast for the specific period, and we should have some knowledge about availability and scarcity of the resources. For a particular production company, what are the scarcities are there, what are the available resources are there, you should know. And you should know the costs of various alternatives also here, and you should know the organization's policies and practices. For every organization there will be a policy, okay, to meet the goal they will follow some policies. You should know about their policies and practices. And coming to the objectives of aggregate planning, the goal behind making strategic plans to find an economical and excellent combination of resources, there are some objectives are there. Let us discuss what are the objectives of preparing aggregate plan. Cost reduction is one of the objective. Okay, doing all the things with a minimum cost, doing more production with less cost, maximizing the profits, that is ultimate objective of any organization. The inventory investment should be minimized. With the minimum inventory only you have to do, because if you spend more amount for inventory, if you are not use that, the total amount is going to be waste, but still the inventory is required. So try to minimize the investment which you are spending with the inventories. Improving the customer service, which is the very best thing in any organization. Whenever you maintain good relationships with the customers, whenever you are providing good service to the customers, definitely the customers will improve a lot, customers will impress a lot. So that improving customer service and post purchase experience is very much essential. Reducing the production rates is one of the another objective, and whatever the equipment is there in the plant, we have to use that for the maximum possible extent. Not only the equipment, all resources, the man, the materials, everything, that's we have to use it to the maximum possible extent. With the maximum utilization only, automatically we can able to achieve the maximum profits and all. The next one is need for aggregate operations planning. What is the need? Till now we discussed about objectives, the need. The various organizations need to plan their production services due to following reasons. The reasons are demand fluctuations. The demand for the products and services keep on changing in the market. Okay, in market so many new products are coming, there is a lot of demand, there are so many deviations are there in between different parts, lot of fluctuations will be there in the market. Consequently, organizations has to plan their productions by forecasting future demand and creating a sufficient supply. Based on the market requirement only, we have to go for the forecasting future demand. Based on that only you have to plan the required things. The capacity fluctuations. Besides fluctuating demand, the capacity in other sources also changes. It can be an outcome of the changes in the working days or workforce, etc. And let me discuss some of the costs relevant to aggregate production planning. One is basic production cost, where we'll consider material cost, raw material cost, direct labor cost, overhead cost, etc. And costs associated with the changes in the production rate are the costs involved in hiring new employees, providing training new employees, whatever the costs incurred, the laying of personnel as well as overcome compensations, all will come under the next. And inventory related costs also we have to consider. These are all the costs which are relevant to APP. And finally, the factors affecting the aggregate planning. So the complete information is required for available production facilities and raw material. The complete information is mandatorily required on available facilities and raw materials. A solid demand forecast covering the medium range period. For a range of period, definitely we should know the solid demand forecast, and the financial planning surrounding the production cost, which includes the raw material cost, labor cost, inventory planning cost, etc. And the policy, the organization policy around the labor management and quality management also affects the aggregate planning. So these are the factors are very critical before starting an aggregate production planning process. Okay, definitely you please go through with this. These factors may affect. These are all very important as well as critical also. Before starting planning of any aggregate planning process, please try to look over these things. And these are the activities mapped to this session. Analyzing a case study on how a manufacturing firm or company successfully implemented APP to streamline the existing production. And another case study, engage in an activity simulating the APP process, considering the variables such as demand fluctuations and production constraints. And here are some examples mapped to this session. Summary. In this session you have learnt about the importance of APP and the factors affects aggregate planning. And self-assessment questions, what is the primary goal of APP? Minimize production costs, maximizing output, minimize workforce, maximize inventories. The answer is minimize production costs. Which of the following is the key input to the APP process? The answer is customer orders. And these are the terminal questions mapped to this session. These are the books to refer. Thank you very much.